The last 5 years in a nutshell. Wow, 2020 comes around and it was just like one kick in the gut after another. And I know many people went through various moments of hell themselves. I know just the people around me, they went through a lot of shit. February 2020, I get a call from Korea saying that my mom had a stroke. She had already been in the hospital because she had just had heart surgery, which she didn't even tell anyone about because she didn't want to worry anyone. So she just went into the hospital by herself, got her heart surgery, and then that night she had a stroke because she had a blood clot in her brain. Apparently there was, issues of like negligence or something, from the hospital, the doctor at the time. I don't really know the whole story, but all I know is that she had a stroke and she was in a vegetable state for a few weeks. And she had just woken up, and that's when my uncle called me. Literally a few weeks later, we get another call. And this time we found out that my mother-in-law, my husband's mother, had passed away. And she had been dealing with her own, share of health issues. But it was like, oh, like what is going on? And then COVID hit, the pandemic. I still remember it was like March 10th or 11th, we found out about Nate's mom. And then the pandemic lockdown was like the 14th or something like that. My husband ended up leaving, but we decided that because I was a high risk and my asthma and all that, and we didn't really know what COVID really was at the time, that it would just be best that I stay home. I was of course devastated because I wanted to be with my husband. I wanted to go back to Korea because I wanted to be there for my mom. And I just felt like I didn't know what to do. And then I didn't know at the time, but my own health was slowly just going downhill as well. And it wasn't until the end of 2020 that my health just completely, like all the issues completely started blowing up. And then 2021, more health issues. Ended up going to Mexico for surgery because I was on Medi-Cal at the time and I had to wait like 2-3 months just to make an appointment for consultation, let alone book any kind of surgery. And I already had 8-centimeter chocolate cysts, and they're basically these little cysts filled with like blood and gunk. They're different from like regular cysts that are just normally filled with fluid. And these things were just growing inside of me, and I had 2 cysts on either side of my ovaries. They were basically the size of like little tennis balls. I mean, it was pretty rough. So you can imagine the amount of pain that I was in. And every month too, just from my period, like I was just going through a lot because of my endometriosis. If you don't know what it is, it's basically when the lining of your uterus starts growing outside, and it just can cause complications. And I had endo all over. I've had it for over 20 years. My sister-in-law, she's married to a lung doctor in Cabo, and he has friends who are gynecologists, so they said, why don't you come down to Mexico to have your surgery done? I remember we were talking about that on Friday, booked a flight out Saturday, went in to go for tests on Sunday. They opened up the clinic for me because I was family. And then on Monday, I had my surgery. And I ended up staying in Cabo for like an extra week and a half just so that I can recover. So that says a lot about the American healthcare system, and then also the Mexican healthcare system. But they just removed the cyst. They didn't remove any of the endo. And so within a few months, I was in a lot of pain again. Towards the end of 2021, I was making weekly ER trips. My poor husband had to, drive me. I had to call in sick all the time. My employer probably thought I was lying. I really wasn't. 2022, February, I ended up having my hysterectomy. Took me a while to heal from that. And then my menopause hits. I found out in 2023. And since then, I've just been dealing with issues from menopause, like depression, and the list goes on. I did a separate menopause video. You can check that out. So that's just the last 5 years. And it's just like, what is going on? I'm just curious, what are you guys going through? How have you been dealing with all this? Leave comments below. I would love to hear about your stories, whatever you're comfortable with sharing. This is just me rambling and venting about the last 5 years. And I know that the next 5 years are about to get even crazier. So let's all buckle up our seatbelts. Let's all give a kind smile to others. Let's give more love to our family and close friends. And most importantly, let's give ourselves some extra love. Yeah. Pat on the back. Bye, guys.